Now, when we're looking at the subtraction of fractions, it's always nice to have a real world sort of motivating story or a real world motivating example to go with. So let's consider the scenario that somebody takes one apple to school or to work and has half the apple before lunch and has a quarter of the apple after lunch. And the question is that at the end of the day, how much of the apple is actually left? Now, there are two ways of approaching this problem. Okay, one is you can say, let me work out how much of the apple I have eaten through the day. Yes, and then take that out from the whole. The second approach is to say, well, I ate a certain amount or a certain fraction of the apple before lunch. So first let me take that fraction out from the whole. Then from whatever remains, yeah, I take out whatever I had after lunch. Okay, so there are basically two ways that one can tackle this problem. Okay, so the problem is that I eat half an apple, and then after that I eat a quarter of the apple, and the question is what is actually left of the apple. Now, there are two methods or two sort of ways of tackling this problem. Method number one is to say that I first add all the amount of apple that I have eaten. So I add 1/2 plus 1/4, and then I remove it from the whole, right? So this is the whole apple. I first work out the amount of apple that I have actually eaten and then remove it from the whole. Method number two is to say that I first remove the amount that I ate before lunch. So I've eaten half the apple before lunch, so I remove that from the whole, and then from whatever is actually left, I remove the amount of apple or the fraction of the apple that I had after lunch. So these are the two broad ways that you can actually tackle this problem. So let's look at method number one. Yeah. So we start with the visual way of looking at the problem, which is you have a whole apple. We'll again denote our apple in that way. And what we've done is that before lunch we have had half the apple. So half the apple was eaten before lunch, and after lunch we had a quarter of the apple. Okay, so if we go ahead and represent it sort of together, then we've broken up the apple into 4 pieces, and before lunch we had 2 of the 4 pieces, and after lunch we had 1 piece. So visually you can see that 1 piece is actually left. So this is the 1 piece that is left. So 1 out of 4 pieces are actually left. So the answer is 1 on 4, because that's 1 of the 4 pieces that was not eaten during the day. Now, of course, we can sort of handle this in an algebraic way as well. So if we look at algebra, then what we are doing here is saying that first we will add up 1/2 plus 1 upon 4, which is 2 upon 4 plus 1 upon 4, which is 2 plus 1 divided by 4 is 3 divided by 4. And then we want to remove this quantity, which is the total amount of apple that we have eaten during the day, from the whole. So that would be 1 minus 3 divided by 4, which is 4 divided by 4 minus 3 divided by 4, which is 4 minus 3 divided by 4, which is 1 divided by 4, which is exactly the same answer that we got from the visual technique.